If you watched our full episode of Hockey Inside Out for this week, you will have undoubtedly seen our conversation on the Canadiens' most pleasant surprises. On this bonus episode, I'd like to flip it. Who do you all think have been the most disappointing players through the first half of the season for the Montreal Canadiens? You can mention a forward and a defenseman.
I have to go with Armia. Again, we talk about his potential, his ability to make the difference in some games, and you can't find him. Big, strong, great shot when he's working and he's doing what he does best, very effective. But then he disappears. You can't find him. He looks disinterested. And maybe that's what you got with this player, because he obviously doesn't understand what consistency works and doesn't understand that Ducharme, who gives him full accolades, doesn't grab a hold of the opportunity to rise up to the occasion. And I question that in a player. And if you're given opportunity over and over again and you don't seize it, well, there comes a point you have to draw the line and make a decision that what you see is what you get, and you have to put a player like that into a certain category and either deal with it or you move them along.
I agree with Army. I understand Dominic Ducharme when he came out and said that he has world-class elite skills, because Army it does. He's got size, he can skate, he can shoot, he's good at stealing the puck, he's got a good stick defensively. Like he has it all. He has more talent than Josh Anderson. He just doesn't use it. And he's 27 years old, I think, now. It's not like he's a young guy. And Dominic Ducharme, probably the same as every coach probably Army has had in his life, looks at him and sees how the talent he has. And Ducharme's given him every opportunity to show it. And right now, I think Ducharme is learning what every other coach has learned about Armia. He's got all the talent in the world. He just doesn't use it. And I think I've said before in the show, I think he's just a really big, nice guy. And he goes on the ice like this really nice guy. And he needs to not be a nice guy when he goes on the ice. He's have an edge to him. He has no edge to his game whatsoever. He just sort of goes out there and skates around and does his thing. And one game he looks like a superstar, and then he disappears. He's got no consistency. So biggest disappointment of the forwards, I agree with Rick. The biggest disappointment for the defense. Defense has been pretty good. My biggest disappointment would be Victor Mete, just because of what his agent did earlier in the season. Everything was going well for this team, and he decided to rock the boat and say he wanted to be traded. Canadiens put him in the lineup. They broke up what had been three pretty good pairs up until then, rattled those guys a bit. They struggled a bit afterwards. So Victor Mete has been in and out of the lineup, and I think it's really disappointing what he decided to do through his agent. When things were going really good for this team, he decided to rock the boat, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, I completely agree with Victor Mete. It's kind of like what's going on with this player. The way that he rocked the boat, it's, you're not even at that status to sort of be like, trade me or play me or I'm going to be traded. He hasn't proven himself really there. And last few years, he was a player that was on the rise. Remember when he came out of training camp, no one knew Victor Mete before, and then he became a household name for Montreal Canadiens fans, seeing what he was able to do playing on the top pairing. And now he's nowhere to be found. And when he did get the opportunity to go into the lineup, he didn't seize that opportunity and didn't show management any reason why he should be staying in the lineup and why he should be staying with the Montreal Canadiens. With a forward, I was going to go with Armia as well, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to say Carey Price in the goaltending position.
Okay.
Coming out of the playoffs in the summertime, we all saw what an effect arrested Carey Price had and his ability to steal games for the Canadiens. They went out, got Jake Allen, a solid backup goaltender for him, so Carey Price did not have to play so many games. And it didn't work out, that he didn't look like the guy from the summer, up and down season, a loss of a goalie coach. I just expected to see more from Carey Price being put in the situation that I think he always needed, not to be the guy that was always relied on.
Way to flip the script there, Jess. I'll just say really quickly, my forward pick, actually my forward and defenseman pick have to do with age, and you could all care to disagree if you want. I'm disappointed in Nick Suzuki. He had a really hot start to the year. He's kind of cooled off since. He's kind of hit that sophomore wall in a year where the Montreal Canadiens said they were going to rely on young centers. I was expecting him to be a really good lead up at that point, but I don't think he's necessarily lived up to that. Potentially fine. You know what? The Canadiens could have put more talent around him, but I also think Nick Suzuki could have played a little bit better. And on the defensive side, again, dealing with age, I think Shea Weber. We all knew that Shea Weber was not going to get that much better the much older he got, but at least last year he showed he could still play in this league and do well. He obviously can still play in the league. It's just very clearly when the Canadiens go on the attack, he's not as helpful as he once was before. He's looked lost at different points, and very clearly his body is showing the wear and tear. It's a bit of a disappointment to see how he's come to this point. We've all put up some pretty good answers for most disappointing players to this point of the season. If you have your selections of that, let us know in the comment section below. Visit hockeyinsideout.com to check out our full episode. You can also join some comment sections over there as well.